Hey everyone, I thought I'd hop on today and I wanted to talk about conversations that you feel you've really expressed yourself so clearly, and however at the end of that conversation you're left feeling that you're not really understood. I had one of those the other day, and it was with my darling, and it stemmed from something else that someone had written, and a lot of people are actually say it is, it's okay to have a bad day. And in my mind, it's like, isn't that, if you say that, are you attracting that? And so it was a discussion that we had, and I felt that I understood Darren's perspective of coming, that it's okay to have a bad day, and we do have that. And the perspective I was coming from is really looking and go, we speak about law of attraction. If by saying that, does that mean actually what you're attracting? And is it, in another way of looking at it, setting an intention? Because of course with me, nothing I look at is just at a horizontal level, which sometimes can be quite bloody annoying. However, it was really, I always look at it vertically, and so I'm going, okay, do we need to actually, it was more, I guess at the end result, really all as I was wanting to express was just don't actually verbalize those words. That's really in essence all I was saying. I respect that we have moments and times where, we're just not feeling our 100% self. And that's okay. That's okay. And as he said, not to sit in it. Absolutely. But I go, if we're saying it's okay to have a bad day, have we set the intention to feel crappy all day? That's just the question I want to put out there and really look at it from a different perspective. So of course, off the back of that, I then went into, I know that I have a book, and it's Maximum Achievement, and it's by Brian Tracy. And we speak about law of attraction, which is what I did mention. I spoke about law of attraction. But some of you may not be aware that there is actually 7 laws. So I thought I would just briefly go over them, and some of them have got a lot of power in them. So that's a great book that if you're really wanting to learn about mindset and look at things more on a vertical level, really it's a great book to look at. So again, for those who have just joined, The Law of Attraction by Brian Tracy, I used to gift them. And so I thought I'd touch base on, off the back of the conversation, was what are the 7 laws? So I thought I'd share them with you. So there's law of control, law of cause and effect, law of belief, law of expectation. Now there's 4 kinds of expectation. And those of you who know me, the word expectation I've deleted from my vocabulary, because and this is my perspective, I don't feel we have a right to expect anything of anyone. That's just the way I look at it, because the word itself. However, there are 4 kinds of expectations, which is expectation of self, expectation of our parents, expectation of bosses, or judgment of our performance. And I mean that in a positive. And the other one is the expectation of our spouse, our children, our staff, our friends, anyone else in our circle. The 5th one is the law of attraction. The 6th one is the law of correspondence, which is really interesting the way they look at it. So it's as within, so without. So basically what they're saying is your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So if you're not feeling good with self, like you're having a bad day, that is what you're going to show in the outer world. So it's really important to be aware of where you actually are and how you're actually feeling for the day. Are you centered? Are you balanced? Are you even aware of what you are in that moment? So the 7th one is mental equivalency, also known as the law of the mind. And I love this in the book. It said a philosopher, it didn't actually name the philosopher, but a philosopher says this, and I found it really interesting. Sow a thought and reap an act. Sow an act and you reap a habit. Sow a habit and you reap a character. Sow a character and you reap your destiny. And I felt that that was really powerful. It's really something to be mindful of. So when we know that when we have a thought, we're reaping an act out of that thought, whether it's one that we want to do or one that we have fear to do. So it's a beautiful, I love that. So to write it down would be great. So and I may even put it in the comments so you can actually write it down, because I really loved that. So I guess what this is it's going back to the conversation that we had, that I didn't feel heard really, or maybe understood, and maybe I just didn't word it right. But it's about what you say externally is what we're going to attract. And I go back to that sow a thought and you reap an act. So by sowing that thought of it's okay to have a bad day, is that the act that you're going to experience in the whole day? And to think that one sentence of it's okay to have a bad day stemmed from a community that I'm a part of, and a gentleman wrote in there, and I thought, oh, that's really interesting. And I'm so much about setting intentions, and I looked at it and feel it's that. So I guess the core of this message is to become really consciously aware of actually what your thoughts are, and even to the point of what you actually externally verbalize. What are you saying? Is it a law of attraction or a law of a cause and effect? Or is it actually setting an intention? So I'm going to delve a little bit deeper into that. But before I go, I had the feeling or the urge, I should say, to draw a card. I don't know why, don't normally for a live, but anyway. And I found it really interesting that the card that came up was worthy. I thought, interesting. And I just thought, that's really connected to you are worthy. So why would you want to be okay with it's okay to have a bad day? I'm not saying not to have bad moments or bad hours, but why actually set the intention it's going to be a whole day? It's about really being mindful. I'm not saying suppress anything that's down there, that you're feeling sad, you're feeling shit. Don't suppress it. Absolutely bring it up. But why does it have to take a whole day to heal that? Isn't it worth taking some time out to honor you, whether it be taking yourself out in nature, whether you do a meditation, whether you do some breathing, whether you just even ring a friend and externally express what you're going through in order to really shift that emotion that you're currently in. That's all I'm saying with this. But the one line that I loved here is, we question whether we are good enough, wanted and needed. We want the world to tell us that we are doing well and that it wants what we have to offer. So, but your value and worth cannot come from anyone or anything outside of you. It must come from within you. So anything, I just feel in life, it must come within you. So I feel I've rambled on enough and I'm going to get off, but it's good. I'm getting practice into these lives and hopefully I'll get them shorter and shorter. It's called practice, practice, practice. And that's okay. I'm comfortable if I make mistakes, it's okay. But at the end of the day, I just hope that I offer some sort of value or insight into something that you may be searching for. So have an amazing day. Thank you for watching and take care. Bye-bye.